My name is Adesope Olajide. Some people know me as Shopsy, others know me as the Energy God. I'm a London-based radio and TV broadcaster within the Afro-pop culture and an Afrobeats enthusiast. This is a short trip down memory lane for me, where it all started, and a brief insight into the rise of Afrobeats in the UK. Here was my haven. This was where I played music loud in the house. I played African music, so I played everything from Afrobeats to anything that was just African. The flat, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, so it was me and my mom in there by herself. So guys used to come, my friends used to come around, and we'd just play music, be loud, and my mom she'd just be quiet and let us just do whatever we were doing. That was the only place that we could enjoy ourselves and just play music. There was, or in your car, but the music wasn't that many here in the UK at the time, so it was more or less like you're going to family parties or gatherings, or you're just making noise in your flat. The interesting thing is friends and family will come from Nigeria and they'll bring you the latest CDs that was popping, and then you put it in a computer and rip it up and copy it on another CD and give it to other friends and stuff. So it was mainly CDs and LimeWire. We used to download on LimeWire. The story was that the more you download on LimeWire, you could get in trouble. The police would come and knock on your door. The virus used to get into the computers. Boy, listen, it was mad. Because sometimes you heard of new music from Nigeria that you hadn't received the physical CDs yet. So you go on LimeWire and search and search and search. You find a lucky link, you click on it, it's a virus, your computer shut down. But yeah, those were the times. Those were the times. It was physical CDs and, any illegal way to get the music. It was crazy. But it was also fun and exciting at the time because that was your only access to it. Apart from the likes of Awilo, Magic System, Two-Face Idibia, Plantation Boys, Remedies, those were the early kind of Afrobeats, Afro-pop, Nigerian pop music that we were playing at, in the house at the time. And those were big, like, waiting there. Yeah. And you were making noise, like, even though when you listen to the music now, some of the quality of production really isn't that great. But at that time, it sounded like it was mixed by Dr. Dre. So it was some of those, like a lot of Two-Face, African Queen, and he was one of the first people to really get his music internationally and just give us a little bit of pride, even though we couldn't hear it around. The fact that you can play it in your house as loud as possible, and then we had a couple of neighbors as well that were like Nigerians and Africans, and you hear them speaking the language too. That was, the sense of home that you had. But yeah, it was interesting times. Crazy, man. Chai.
Retracing got that sauce.
So this is the famous Hilda Timbo. So these used to be like warehouses. These buildings here were like warehouses, all sorts of sheds. And in there were venues that were built that people could come and host hundreds of people You know, I'm sure even thousands. If you listen, you can hear. So they're probably having like a church meeting or something, and those are African voices. Can you hear that? So my people are still here. 20 years after, they're still here. Church, church, church. That's it. So that instantly explains what I was telling you. So this was where we could be, you know, very comfortable. If you came with the wrong crew or you didn't look bad enough, some people might even take your chain and take your watch. Yeah, it was one of those that people were so comfortable, it became like, as much as we're having fun, some nights it could be a rough night. You run into the wrong guy, he's coming for your wallet and your chain or whatever it is. So the advice is to come, you know, in groups and come with your friends. But it was it was always a great feeling. We hear traditional music, the Nigerian Fuji music, and all of the traditional musicians we playing here. So from listening to African music in the house, this was the only place, or one of the only places, that you could also listen to it in a group with a lot of people and have a sense that you were back in Nigeria or you were back in Ghana. Because the minute you walk into these buildings, it's straight up, everybody's wearing traditional music and they say, party starts, spending money, doing all that type of stuff. So, you know, these were the moments when Afrobeats in London started to find a voice, first amongst the community, and then before it started to sip out. Because what happens is someone like me might bring my Jamaican friend or whatever to come to a wedding reception with me. So we started to introduce ourselves and other people into our music and our culture before it came out. I was just purely a fan of African music, African culture, and, you know, found myself always in areas where, you know, the culture was being celebrated. And I just wanted to be around my friends and be around my people, to be honest with you. And I think that was it. It wasn't at this moment, I didn't even have any thought that I was going to do anything around Afrobeats or African music. It was purely just going to hang out with my people and enjoy the vibe. Eat some Nigerian food. So it looks like the entire street has been completely bought over. You know, it looks like even though we were renting it then, right now we own this whole thing now. Because they probably left it to us. Because this was the place. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it was full from morning till night. So it only made sense for anybody that owned properties here to say, you know, you Africans can keep it and do your thing. That's it, you know. It's mad. Lane, the most infamous street basically in the whole of South London. So this is where, you know, you can get African foods, you can get a nice haircut, hair, if you're a woman coming to, you know, to connect with the African people. This was it. And this was where a lot of the things was happening. This road led straight to Empire Radio, where it all began for me. Yeah, it's great to be back here, man. And even though it's dark, it's still busy, like it's like in the mid. It feels like it's 1 p.m. in the day. And that's what makes Peckham, you know, interesting, and Peckham Ride, like, just busy and hectic. And it feels good, man. It's nice to be here. They'll say, Bawoni, come, they'll ask you to come, you know, so that's it. You walk here and you feel like you're in Nigeria because everybody's talking. my stomach. Because once I have that, I'm just gonna have to go and sleep. Unfortunately, I still have a little bit to do today, so I need to watch that. Because that kind of food is go to bed food. All right. So this was where all the celebrities used to come back in the early 2000s. And, you could have your traditional Nigerian food. Sit. We used to sit. Look, if you look in there as well, it was back in the day. Get me? So that tells you the kind of dates we're talking about. But yeah, they have everything. From the Nigerian meat pie, puff, buns, sausage roll, chin at the back, some groundnuts in there. It's got everything. So this was where we used to come if you wanted to take someone out to eat Nigerian food. And everybody was comfortable being here. Regardless of the celebrity, the superstar, all of them have been here. All of the biggest stars.
Retracing got that sauce in it.
It's the infamous building where everything started for me. This is where Shopsy do on radio. This is the beginning of the energy god. This is the beginning of a passionate African that was playing African music in the UK to a large audience. This building used to be like a warehouse where it had at the top floor, Empire FM was there, and then in the middle floor was like a hardcore gym where if you're going up the stairs, you saw boys just pumping up. And then when we went upstairs in the heat, it was us just there, playing music, talking to the community. And it was a fantastic location as well. As you can see, it's the end of, Peckham Rye. And it links into Dulwich and links into, and links into Camberwell. So this was like in the heart of South London. It could reach Brixton, it will reach Elephant and Castle, it will reach Peckham obviously. And it was just an amazing time. I walked into the building, going to help my friend out to see if she could just do her voiceover. It turned into me taking on a slot. And I think we started with playing the black beats. And then after a while, we called it urban black beats. Then after a while, we called it urban Afrobeats before it became Afrobeats. So even in that, transition, you can tell how we started before we got to our complete identity. At the beginning, we were playing everything. Played some of the big dancehall records, hip hop, R&B, but it was heavily Afro. But the more popular we became, or the more passionate we became and comfortable we became, we took all the others out and just stuck with African music. And this is it. It looks like people are in there. What would have been the Empire Studios right now, somebody's probably sleeping in the bedroom, cooking in the kitchen, or maybe doing something sinister in their rooms right now, but this was it. And at that time, I never thought maybe I could even earn a living from this. So it had become almost like an addiction where I'm married to the game now, I might as well just carry on doing it. So, we're blessed in the position that we're in now. Obviously, I'm at the Beat London and stuff like that, doing all that stuff, my podcast and working with superstar artists like Adesope Olajide and a host of others. But boy, it's hard work. But this was where it started, without the kickstart I got from Empower and the passion that it built in me, even though I wasn't earning any money, it was a lot of stress on a Saturday night or a Friday night. It was, I was supposed to be partying with friends. I remember sometimes in the summer where we would have like barbecues with my friends and everybody, and the time when everything was just getting sweet, I'd have to go. And my friends would be like, what's wrong with this guy? Who you to play the music to? You know, nobody understood. Even I didn't understand. But I didn't want to miss my slots. And I just wanted to keep on doing it. And that was how that grew. Now that the Afropop culture and Afrobeats has so far made a huge dent on the world scene, with platforms like the Grammys being an achievable dream, I see Afrobeats dominating international charts in the not too distant future. And for me, I guess being in more positions to promote the culture I love. And that is Afrobeats.